YouTube, people of the internet, how is it going? Welcome to a special first cast of the playoffs. It's day one of playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. Hello? Are you gonna update by any chance? No? I think it should update because we won our first match. Thank you very much, Karma. I appreciate that very much. Everybody in the chat, welcome. I don't know what on earth is going on. Hopefully this will fix itself out. But it was a crazy match. It broke. Everything broke, chat. Everything broke. I mean, I lost a ton of Oryx, didn't I? I think I lost a ton of Oryx, except for the fact that I won these Oryx, but it says negative red. It's all good. We got the Oryx. You can see the Oryx are piling up, but well, we lost in here, but we definitely won in here, apparently. I don't know. I heard Rose won, and we definitely won in here. So I don't even know what's going on. They're going to fix it. It's okay. Let's focus on the good part of things, which is, in a moment, a big set of matches is coming up. Tons of matches all over the place. Now, last I checked, I believe I am whitelisted, so hopefully we will be able to hop matches if we have to. But our main focus for the day is this right here. DSP versus MFLD. Kingdom 93 versus Kingdom 46. Now, chat, well, I kind of had something cooked up on the side, something new for this cast, but I don't have that much time to set it up. I need to set it up real quick. So chat, I know you guys are not gonna see anything, okay? Don't panic, don't leave. Drop a like on the stream in the meantime, but the screen goes dark. Don't worry, don't panic, it's okay. I'm just fixing something new that I added to our ARC casts, which I'm not gonna lie to you, I procrastinated the frick out of it until now. Yep, I did. And so now I'm kind of scrambling to fix it and make it cool because I think you guys are really gonna enjoy this. And I don't want to show it on the screen yet. I know you guys aren't seeing anything. Please do not panic or leave. If you leave, I will kick you. Well, not really. I cannot kick you, but please don't leave. Anyway, let's keep an eye. There's still some time till the match starts. I'm finishing up the final little touches. And trust me, I think you guys are really gonna dig this. I think this is gonna be something fun. There we go, we are done with that. And now I can show you back the screen. Let's do this. You guys really liked also when we had volume enabled. So let's very fast get our sound on and then enable this in here as well. So you guys get the sound. I'm gonna need your help to tell me how the sound is in game as the match is going. I know you're not seeing anything, don't panic. You'll see something right now. Cool. We're all good. 1 minute away. All right. Let's do this thing. We got some cool new additions, including we need to take off some things on the screen really quickly. We don't want that. We don't want this. We don't want the chat blocker, because really we don't need the chat blocker. Where is the chat blocker? You and you. Goodbye. Clear the screen. All the match in here, but we're gonna have a little bit of things happening on screen, hopefully. If I didn't mess this up, I really hope I didn't mess this up. I need to get out of that, and now it'll work, hopefully. I'll do a test very soon, but I can't do a test without you guys seeing it, so we're gonna keep it at that. Sitar Core, thank you very much. It was a lot of fun. I never, ever had a... Okay, I definitely need that then. All right, good, so we tested. I never ever had a crazier match than that one. That match was actually, fairly insane. I'm not gonna lie to you. We gotta make sure we get in the match. Go, MFLD. Hello? Watch. Button. Click. Please. Oh boy. Did it break? Chat. Get out. Get back in. Go. I think we're whitelisted, so we should be fine regardless. Hello? No watching? No way there's no watching on these matches. Oh, there it is. Go. Haha, we're in the match, ladies and gentlemen. Good luck. Have fun. Gekko. Bam. There we go. We leave them a message and we're on. We're on. Sorry, you guys are gonna see that. I know. Terrible content creator. I apologize. It is what it is. So, does this work now? Let's see. What happens if I do this and then that? All right, that works. Cool. Perfect. All right, so we can get rid of this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an Ark of Osiris match. This is Osiris League playoffs. We have MFLD against JWM. Wow. MFLD against DSP for the playoffs, first round. At this point, we're a minute and a half away from the match beginning. On these kinds of casts, I do my best to kind of let you guys know how Ark of Osiris works, so bear with me for a little bit as we talk about this match, and Ark of Osiris in general. Let's start off with the basics of the map layout really quickly before the match begins. The map is a mirrored map, as you can see right here. All the buildings are exactly the same. Each side, red and blue, have their own set of obelisks, their own set of outposts, their own sets of shrines of war, and altars. The game is a 60-minute match in which the team with the most points wins the match. The way you make points is with 3 very important mechanics. One of them is holding onto these buildings. All of these buildings can be occupied by either team, and after they hold the building for 3 minutes, you will see the timer on the screen once we start playing, they start gaining points. Each one of these buildings has a different amount of points they give to the team who holds them. The most important buildings being the Sky Altar and the Desert Altar with the most points on the map. But in general, you see a very big change when it comes to how people hold on to buildings, which buildings are targeted more, which buildings are targeted less. The second mechanic to gain points is through this golden little thing right here, the Ark of Osiris, which spawns on the Temple of Osiris. And if you are good enough and strong enough to get the Ark for yourself, massive points are gonna be rewarded. The last thing that you need to know about gaining points before we begin is provisions. Provisions is like gathering on the regular map. It's pretty much the same thing. There are these caravan look-alike thingies, and what you do with them, you go on them, you gather. For every point right here, you get 3 points total on there. So you definitely want to make sure you're provisioning. If you guys watch the UCS versus OV match, towards the end, if you look at the last 2 minutes, you'll see those numbers really go up and down dramatically, primarily because people were sending their provisioners back home. And now with that being said, the match has opened up. People are starting to march out. Let's go take a look at the march out of the gates. Plus the game is gonna lag in a second. Ooh. Well, the game already lagged. Okay, perfect. Go into simplified graphics so we don't have to deal with this later. Our friend Laguna is in here leading the charge for DSP as they pour out of their gates, and so are the folks of MFLD, which is just as laggy. And yeah, overall, we're expecting a very fascinating match to pop up in a little bit. Usually, the way Ark of Osiris works is that up until the 52nd minute, some buildings are open to occupation and others are not. The outposts and obelisks are the first targets for each team, and as you can see, they've already started picking up their buildings. And in the 52nd minute, the shrines and altars open up as well, and then the whole map is ready to go. As of right now, blue team with a slight lead. They have 2 outposts in their favor, while the folks in red are still going towards their second outpost. So far, nothing crazy to see on the map just yet, but just so you know, this is usually how it starts. It's okay. This is the time where people start setting themselves up. We will go take a look at the fights as we get closer to the actual time. Overall, for your general information, there are a total amount of points per minute on the map. These points are divided equally between both teams so long as both teams pick up their own buildings. So essentially, by knowing you have 1180 points on the map total, the break-even point is 590 points. 590 points per minute is the break-even number, and if you see both teams have 590 points per minute, you know they own the map equally. Right now, we're waiting for the timers to end on these buildings as the obelisks have all been occupied. 8 rallies are out like we expect, 2 to their own obelisks and 2 to the opposition obelisks. This is a fairly standard play. The things that what people do with these rallies, is they move their troops as a chunk up on the field, and once they reach a certain destination, they break up these rallies. We can see an example right up here. If we go find one of these rallies, let's go find a DSP rally. This one's going there. Which one? This one went this way. Okay, perfect. So if we go take a look at this rally right here, in a moment, it should break apart, and the job of this rally is now to retreat and go defend this desert altar. Batima might decide to go aggressive, and instead of defending the desert altar, might keep carrying on to try to aggress on the Shrine of War, and very rarely you see someone actually follow through with a rally and go all the way to the end. Now, listen. Things are as laggy as they can be in this game mode. If the sound is a little bit loud, let me know, please. And there goes the rally breakup. Some are going towards the offensive side. Someone's going back. So it looks like they decided to use this rally to go offensive on the Shrine of War early on. Kitty Lick is sending her march out, or his march out. His Saladin is going straight for this obelisk on the blue side, and I believe either it'll break up to defend or it's looking to aggress against the desert altar. Aggression, desert altar versus Shrine of War. Oh my goodness. And our friend J-Rock on the map, X-Kingdom 58, played with them for a little while. Good folk, we saw him getting zeroed in one of these KVKs that we made videos of, and he recouped, and now he is strong in the lineup for MFLD. Now, chat, just so you guys know, when I cast, I tend to get more focused on the match than on you guys. So please don't get offended if I don't chat with you, if I don't reply to you. I try to read and answer if there are a few questions that are. Thank you. Tune it down a little bit. Thank you, XVP Killer. So those kinds of things I keep an eye on. But other than that, please understand that I'm focused more on the match, and in 15 seconds, the whole map opens up and we'll see who aggressed more. So far, MFLD have very strong presence on this desert altar. In this scenario, whoever picks up the building first will have a huge advantage because they can send all these troops in, and from there, it'll require major work to get rid of them. J-Rock, Cabo, and Kitty are ready to get in here. 4 seconds to go. Kitty is primed to go in here first. Let's see if blue team managed to pick up this desert altar, or red might be able to hold on to their own. This is the first point of impact. There is open field fighting happening in here, although technically there is lag. Oh, we froze at 4 seconds. We definitely froze at 4 seconds. The timer is going on in here, but it's not going on in here, which means we are lagging for sure. There is the unstable connection. There we go. Come on, baby. Bam! Who took the building? 130 points per minute versus the 100. It looks like the MFLD did manage to pick up. There we go. That's what we needed. Did manage to pick up the desert altar first. This gives them a about 35-second advantage over the folks of DSP, because as you can see, the timer has gone down about 40 seconds. Oh my goodness, the sound is crazy. So right now, as you can see on the timer, they've wasted 45 seconds and they're still going at it. They've been wasting so much time. Look at all the blue presence in here. They can replace marches and keep wasting more time. Right now, it is not going to be a thing for the folks of MFLD to hold on to this desert altar. But the idea was for them to delay the desert altar enough so that it essentially takes longer for DSP to gain points by taking that building themselves. Now, on the top side, MFLD dropped the ball on their desert altar, so it looks like there was an exchange of altars, except that the lag is so massive with all the matches happening that we're going to have to remember to go in and out. The folks of MFLD are really struggling at this point, specifically with this desert altar. The reason for that is there's massive presence here, but they really want to make sure they take this building back. If this building doesn't go back into their favor, my goodness, this lag is going to kill us. If this building doesn't go back into their favor very, very quickly, in 1 minute and 23 seconds, the folks of DSP will gain first occupation over this building. And what that'll do is it'll grant DSP 750 points of early occupation. Early occupation is a huge factor into the match. The first team to lock in a building in their favor gain an extra set of points. Now, the desert altar is a building in which you gain 750 points from first occupation. So you really want to make sure that you are defending it correctly, as well as getting your first occupation if you can, obviously. It looks like DSP and MFLD did kind of the same thing. They traded their own all the desert altars, except that the folks of DSP seem to have been much more prepared for this situation. And now with DSP putting Zetian on the main floor and having open field presence here to take this altar, a rally by Tanglan might get the job done, but right now DSP need to hold another 20 seconds or so. It doesn't look like they managed to hold, and the map is now even. If we take a quick peek at the mini map to see which buildings are ticking for who, you can see that for the red team, they're very close to locking up all their buildings with 590 points per minute, while MFLD have a little bit of a disadvantage. They need to wait another 2 minutes and 30 seconds to get this altar and start gaining their points again. Blue team going for a little bit of a nuisance situation where they essentially took up an outpost away from the red team. These outpost buildings, which you cannot see because the game is insanely laggy, these outpost buildings are some of the less looked at buildings in the game. The main objective of them is to send the Ark of Osiris there. The thing about them is they're worth 30 points per minute and actually 80 points of first occupation. So as long as you keep pissing off the opposition by taking their altars, you can lock away about 90 points per minute from them fairly easily. You can see that right now, as we mentioned, the red team has a little bit of an advantage on the points per minute game. If you're looking at understanding what you're seeing on the screen, up on the top, you will see the total score, the time remaining right here, and you have the points per minute as well as how many combatants are playing and how many teleports are available. It looks like DSP has not used enough of their teleports. This could come back to bite them in the butt, as teleporting out of the initial zone is super crucial. DSP taking out the Shrine of Life is a great beginning for them. They are maintaining the points per minute advantage consistently, 200 points per minute in their favor right now, but MFLD has still 47 minutes long, and this is nowhere near over. Jeeds, for some reason, thought he can solo hit a Shrine of War that's fairly well defended. I don't know what he's trying to do. Probably get his march back home. With all this being said, we're only seeing 2 rallies, both by DSP, 0 rallies by MFLD launched yet. Very interesting stuff. I believe this is because they prioritized teleporting over anything else. I don't necessarily think it's my internet that's lagging, because the phone is lagging like crazy too, and that's not wired, that's my mobile. I've heard a couple people who are crashing out of matches, but anyway, we're going to make the best out of it and cast the best match possible, because this is going to be very close. DSP now swarming with a rally, the Sky Altar, and the folks of MFLD are really having a tough time showing presence on the open field. Our fight stops in the middle due to lag, but we're going to zoom in and zoom out every time to make it continue if that's what it takes. With Zetian getting ticked down more and more, and rally being broken apart by the looks of it. The rally did fail. Open field presence still exists in here for the folks in red, but Tima is coming in strong. And honestly, there's so much red presence in here, and the building is so relatively weak that I feel like the folks of DSP could still try to take this building with major swarms. It looks like they might decide to do that still. Sanguine Gal is in here ready to defend. Coffee and Tea are here ready to defend, but in Lady Dragon too. But there's so many red marches, including Black Knight just chilling in here, that I don't think that it's out of the picture for DSP to not go swarm this thing. However, blue team, Geo and company are coming in to defend this building at all costs. They know that their their Sky Altar is very important. So far in the match, we have red team leading by about 300 points. Nothing very serious. All is good. They are leading now by only 20 points per minute, which is a good job by MFLD to close down that gap even more. The more, the better. I see that general info didn't go away. Sorry about that, chat. We're still working and playing with these things. How do you guys like the on-screen things that are popping up as time goes by? Let me know in the comments. 19 seconds before the arc opens up. Well, 16 seconds. It went up and then down. Let's go take a peek at what's going on in the Temple of Osiris. In 15 seconds, the arc is going to pop. If we'll be able to see it, it will be great. But I doubt we will. There it is right there. Blue, massive open field presence. And arcs are, as I mentioned, one of those mechanics that are used to gain points. Each arc is worth a little bit more, and the idea behind it is getting the first arc is fantastic, but that last one is worth almost twice, well, 1.5 times the first one. So even though it looks like MFLD are going to pick up this arc, as their open field presence here is fantastic, it's not the end of the world for DSP if they lose this arc. It doesn't seem like they want to lose it, as massive red marches are marching towards the center. The arc dropped on the wrong side, which is a very common mistake I keep seeing happening quite a bit. The most important thing about having any sort of advantage, and in general, playing Arc of Osiris the best possible way, most competitive way, is by not making as many mistakes as the other team. By dropping the arc on this side rather than on that side, MFLD had to march it another 30 seconds. Every 30 seconds, which is kind of nuts. You should definitely set it as a slideshow. I agree. I definitely agree. Listen, chat, it's the first time I did this. I literally finished my match, opened Photoshop, started making these things real quick. We'll make them better, we'll make them look nicer, and hopefully I don't have to touch them. They can just do their thing. But for now, I've been switching them on and off, and I hope you guys dig it. I think it's cool to have more information show up on the screen, which shouldn't necessarily be casted. Blue team can definitely win this. This is nowhere near over for either side. 300 points is nothing, and DSP and MFLD are both insanely strong alliances. Right now we have an alliance casting, I think that was DSP's skill right there. Things are so laggy. It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable how laggy things are. I believe we disconnected. Hopefully we will reconnect soon, because man, I don't know. There it is. It was MFLD's alliance skill right there coming in as well. DSP's war drums coming strong too to the center. Both alliances popping skills, Osiris League skills. Reminder, it's the first time in competitive Arc of Osiris that skills are used, and it's really interesting to see how teams are using them. So far, it seems that most of the skills are being used in the center and adding some teleports along the way. Speaking of teleports, it looks like DSP utilized most of their teleports, still have one available. And while all this is going on, this madness is going to go for a bit. DSP now picking up the arc in their favor. It is quite further up towards the blue side. At this point, the biggest problem with picking up an arc is that carrying an arc is very, very, very painful. You do not want to be carrying an arc like this when there's so many people in here. Why? Because the moment you pick up an Arc of Osiris, you drop 50% your march speed and you take 200% damage, which means it doesn't matter which kind of commander you use, you become a squishy march, and you can get wrecked instantly. So in these kinds of situations, picking up the arc can be a disadvantage as well as an advantage. Let's go take a peek real quick at what's going on the buildings scenario, and we'll go back into that point in a second. 20 points per minute in the favor of the folks in red is not bad for the MFLD. The buildings are finally about to lock in half and half. And when that happens, MFLD and DSP will be at 590 points a pop. Now, we have a rally hitting this Sky Altar, but it looks like it died off while we were watching the center. Looks like KVK tomorrow decided to take this arc and just bounce with it. One of the things that I was going to mention is that there are a few options on how to carry an arc. When you carry an arc, you need to be very careful, because what you want to do is you want to get into this kind of situation where you can break out of the pack and run. For that, you need to be able to time things a little bit. It's not easy, it's not 100% doable per se, but I've seen a few individuals who waited enough until they saw that there is not that much focus on them. They picked up the arc and they bailed with it. That's the same kind of things that happened right here. KVK tomorrow was in this mess. He saw that the blue team was starting to win a little bit, and when that happened, he just bailed. And right now, it looks like blue team are gonna successfully take the first Arc of Osiris and 3,000 points to their side. The Shrine of War is being fought at for the blue side. If they lose this building, this is a very important building. It's one of the most important buildings in the game, because believe it or not, the kinds of buffs you get out of it are very, very important. having a one-sided situation where one team has both Shrines of War can be very detrimental for a very close match, as now one side has more buffs, both attack and defense, than the other. Genghis Khan rallies in 2020. Hey, man, you never know, my man. You never know. They might have a secret build that nobody knew. Back in the day, when OV won Season 1 of Osiris League, they defended their buildings with Constantine, and everybody was like... So, don't underestimate anything you see. Things are done for a reason. And if there is a reason in there, which I'm assuming there is, it's probably working out for the better for them. The problem with the rally is that when it doesn't have open field presence and it gets swarmed like this one did, no rally, even in Attila Takeda, cannot take a building without some open field presence when the other team has it. It's just how it is. Now, looking at the map, it looks like the folks in blue are starting to take an advantage of DSP in reds, a little bit of carelessness for their outposts. They've started to take these outposts quite a lot, and by doing that, they essentially are keeping themselves, they are taking now the lead, points per minute lead for the first time in this match. With that being said, they're also holding their arc very, very closely to an outpost and just chilling with it for now. This is a delay play for the arc, as they still have 11.5 long minutes for them to be able to secure this arc. And a strategy like this has been employed quite a bit, where teams want to cut down the amount of arcs that appear on the map. Remind you that the arcs have different values. So if you manage to get the amount of arcs that pop on the map to go down, so for an instance, having 3 arcs rather than 4, or even 2 arcs rather than 3, you're actually taking away a huge amount of potential points out of the match, as you guys can see in the info on the side. Rallies hitting the desert, the Sky Altar. Once again, it looks like there is a lot of open field presence. Is there a rally in here? Or is this only open field presence? The open field fights in here next to MFLD's Sky Altar. I see a rally by DSP right there. An Archer's rally hitting Wuzetian and hitting her hard. DSP now need to focus on the building rather than fight the open field, as their goal must be the building and not clearing the open field. That rally might be taking huge amounts of damage, but if they focus their energy on the goal, which is taking the Sky Altar, even if the rally fails, the Sky Altar can get weakened enough for the open field to get rid of it. One of the biggest mistakes folks fall for is that they look for how they can fight rather than keep their eye on the ball. When you rally a building and bring open field presence to help the rally, the goal is to take the building out. Forget about the other team's open field. Go for the building, strike it hard with everything you have, and trust me, as someone who did it again and again an hour ago, it works very well. Even if you take the building and instantly lose it, you take 300 points, 450 actually, points out of the other team, as they need to wait 3 long minutes for the building to start ticking in their favor. DSP finally going for the goal, for the building, which is what we want to see. We want to see this building go down or be defended, depends on which side you're on. While that is going on, the folks of MFLD are going hard at the Shrine of War. It's been blinking for a little bit now. The folks of DSP now really need to be able to hold on to their Shrine of War. If they lose their Shrine of War, which it seems like it's so far in an okay situation, if they lose the Shrine of War, it can be detrimental for their offensive moves, as they do pick up the Sky Altar away from the folks of MFLD. While that is going down, the Desert Altar is also being hit. Let's go take a peek at that and make sure that that is going well or not for the folks of DSP. For the record, I'm seeing a lot of comments about coins and Oryx. Guys, forget about your Oryx, okay? Everything's okay. Whatever you bet on, you will get your Oryx. There are a few bugs along the way. Please relax. It'll get fixed. Don't worry. You don't need those Oryx right now anyway. With that being said, if you enjoyed the cast, you're watching the VOD, I don't know what you're doing. Did you know 57% of you are not subscribed to this channel? What are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel, and of course, hit a like on the stream. Let me know that you guys enjoy this content, as MFLD are about to lose their Desert Altar. Four altars going down in the favor of DSP. Now, as mentioned before, there are 1180 points on the map, and each one of these altars is worth 150 points, which means by holding on to 4 altars, DSP own majority of the map, 600 points per minute. Jades is hitting hard the Shrine of War. MFLD not paying attention to their Shrine of War might end up losing it to an interesting Khan rally. The Khan rally is being super successful. Here, Regalia kind of, again, dropping the eye on the ball. The ball is hold onto the Shrine of War. By hitting the rally like she or he are doing, it's not helping the goal. It is weakening down the rally a little bit, but the rally is so strong that it's really not that helpful. So at this point, what needs to be done is, rather than focus on the rally, focus on sustaining the building. One thing you should know is that as long as this rally hits, and we disconnected, but that's okay, we'll be back in a second. As long as this rally hits, it cannot re-hit again, which means that as long as you let it hit the building, it cannot restart. So if you see that a building is holding very successfully, like for example in this instance, this is when you bail out of this rally. Let it keep hitting. By finishing off the rally right here, the folks of MFLD are letting Jades go home faster. The longer this rally hits, the less it will re-hit. And so this is a slight small mistake, an oversight by MFLD, as now they're rallying the 2 altars that belong to them. At this point, the Sky Altar is taking massive damage. DSP are primarily looking to just delay the points for the folks of MFLD, who now have a 2,300 point lead because they submitted their arc. But now they need to start gaining presence on the map because the points per minute are going to get skewed very, very quickly. In 3 seconds, the folks of DSP gain another 150 points per minute, and in here, in a few moments, another 150 points per minute, and that's when they'll manage to close back the gap. After all, by having 360 points per minute in their favor, all they need to do is hold that lead for, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, and they're back in the lead. That's how this match works. The points per minute are crucial for you to be able to not only win a match, but also get the other team to tilt the heck off, really. When you see something like this, it is very, very tough mentally to come out of it. Look at the change right now. Almost 500 points in the favor of DSP. MFLD are about to take this Desert Altar back. Fantastic first move by them. But they need to get their Sky Altar back in order to stabilize their points per minute and to ensure their lead stays a lead. If we take a look a little bit on the map, we're seeing quite a few of interesting commanders. We have a Wuzetian by Sanguine Gal just sitting here waiting for the building to be taken so she can go in and take this back and take the command of this building. MFLD's Swarm is fantastic. However, a little bit of mistakes by DSP. Once more, Black Knight and Scoobs in here should not be hitting the open field, but rather should maintain their troops to go into the Sky Altar and consistently hold on to it. Arc of Osiris is a game mode that is all about points. For you to get 5 billion kills, and you'll still lose the match if you don't get the points. Kills don't matter. And so, yes, to bleed out a little bit of these guys can be good, but at the same time, you want to prefer refilling the Sky Altar, refilling the building, and ensuring that the building does the damage. When the building does the damage, it's a much stronger damage than an individual march. Now, one more thing for you guys. When you go replace your troops, do not wait for red to get your troops back into the building like the folks of DSP just did. The reason you don't wait for red is because right now, there is only one person holding onto that building, and that is the person who replaced the troops. Ideally, once the building goes yellow, that's when you want to start refreshing the troops. Why? Because you want to make sure that your friends who are in the buildings still have troops available to try to mitigate the damage across everybody. If you wait until red, what'll end up happening is that you will make it back a little bit, and then it's only you against all of that because the rest of your folks have 4,000, 3,000 troops remaining, and you have 200,000. And so when you go reinforce a building, it is crucial to time it correctly. Do not wait for red. Somewhere around yellow is when you should start trading those troops in and out. And the best, most optimized way to do it is by ensuring that your troops outside stay whole. Once it gets to yellow, you pull one of your marches out, you put a whole march into the building, and then you hit the open field with the yellow march to kill it off so it goes home. That way, you're weakening the open field, you are refilling the building correctly, and you're making sure that essentially you win the match, which is hold on to the building. You win the fight, whatever it is. I got distracted by the fact that MFLD turned on a massive alliance skill. Another one by Geo, War Drum stacking on into the center. Man, DSP stacking on. Got 4 skills in one shot going into the middle as everything is shining right now. My goodness gracious, how much shiny. I love it. In 11 seconds, less than 10 seconds, the Ark of Osiris will pop, and madness is already ensuing. We're already about to lag the frick out of this, probably. Let's see if we can zoom out just a little bit to make it. Oh, no, we don't want that. We want this. This is what we want. First, 1-for-1 so far in the frowny department. I'm seeing 3 frownies for blue so far. Ark of Osiris is out on the field. Let's see which side will drop it where. Reminder, dropping it on your side gains you 30 seconds. Dropping it on the opposition side will cost you 30 long seconds. DSP dropping it on the correct side towards their side, and now they have gained a small window of extra time. By wasting 1 march that dropped the Ark, they're essentially gaining 30 seconds worth of being able to bring more marches in which the MFLD would have to march that Ark around. This is not real. There is no way. Okay, this is real, but it marched all the way to here and then it fell. This is fantastic for DSP so far. They've moved the Ark quite significantly towards their side. Again, it'll gain them more and more time to get to the Ark faster and replenish their troops. As you can see, lots of troops are going out, but also lots of troops are coming in. It looks like the major focus of both these teams are the Ark of Osiris. As you can see, the map is halved out. The buildings are not 100% all closed yet, which means in a few moments we'll see 590 finally, but DSP still in the points per minute lead by about 120 points. 27 minutes remaining in the match. We're at 16,000 against 15,000. 16,267 against 15,768. About 500 point differential between these two teams. 501 really. And DSP are now 30 points per minute behind. Not the craziest, worst thing on earth. Once they lock in their final outpost in their favor, they will go back to 590, and they'll be able to come focus back on what they really want, which is the Ark of Osiris. Ark picked up by the folks of DSP, and now they're marching it further down. It looks like a Charles Martel is leading the charge. Lazy something born, I guess. Lazy Born marching it even further and dropping it. Fantastic moves here. As the Cloud of Madness is going on, you can utilize this as a way to essentially gain a little bit of ground by sacrificing 1 or 2 marches that are a bit weaker, that have that extra speed or that have that extra tankiness. You can slowly march the arch further your way. Now it looks like DSP's tactic is move the Ark slowly and steadily forward while we kill the swarm. It looks like the Ark really managed to bail out of the swarm, and the folks of red are really pushing here to ensure that the swarm and the cloud doesn't pay attention to the Ark carrier, which is working. But now if you folks notice that, hey, the Ark is out, what are we looking at? And they started going after it, and now DSP finally see that, hey, MFLD caught on to us. It's time to go get rid of this as well. More progress on the Ark in favor of red team, but there's only 12 minutes until that Ark resets, so they better get that Ark back, as we are at 590, 560 still. In a few moments, there it is, 590 should be on the screen. Bam. Everybody is tied right now. Nobody is gaining an advantage at this point in time, unless of course the provisions start coming in, which we'll talk about a little bit more in about 10 minutes or so. If you're enjoying the cast, you enjoy these kinds of things, make sure you drop a like on the stream as well as on the VOD if you're watching it later on. And of course, if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna plug myself a couple of times in this match, don't judge me too much. Anyway, looking at this so far, it looks like red has huge presence around this arc. They know that they have to get it. As I mentioned more than once, and we'll pop it on the screen once more, this arc is the second arc. You can see that by looking at the top. You'll see right here, one arc was delivered by MFLD, and so this is the second arc, and it is worth 3,500 points. 500 more than the first one, and it looks like DSP are poised to take it. With that, they might take the lead back and take a crucial lead of 3,000 points. Chat, if you guys have any questions, this is the time. If there's anything you guys would like to see improved, is there something that you still have doubts about, let me know in the comments right now. I'll keep an eye on questions that will help you improve your arc play as well as understand better what's going on. Anything about lag, please, it won't help. Like, I can't do anything about it. I'm with you guys on that one. Leave the lag out, okay? And Oryx, for the love of God. Sorry about that. We talking 45 minutes straight does strain the voice a little bit. All right, so the arc is marching in favor of DSP. It looks like they kind of got control of the situation. Blue team are still going to punish a few marches that carry the arc, but truthfully, it is way out of their play right now, as the red team really has crazy presence around this arc. Blue team is reacting correctly, which is if they are not going to take the arc, they hella going to punish the folks of DSP through the building game. The Regalia with a Attila, I'm hoping an Attila Takeda in there, rally on this Wuzetyan. DSP kind of a little bit dropping the ball on this Desert Altar, and so are MFLD. MFLD can really put a little bit more pressure in here and take this building pretty much for free and gain 150 points worth of a lead. And so, yeah, doubts about my life choices count? Nope. Not at all. I'm not a psychologist or a financial advisor. MFLD putting in the work on this Desert Altar, but it's going to get close and it's going to take a little bit. And for them, the longer this takes, the worse it gets, because it gives the folks of DSP and Red time to react. And you can see they're already reacting. 3 marches are on their way to defend this Desert Altar. One of the most important things about hitting a rally, hitting a building, is you have to have also some open field presence to help it. Buffs and debuffs on the field to help take that building faster is one of the most important things in Arc of Osiris, because truthfully, there are so many good garrison commanders such as Wuzetyan, such as Constantine, such as Richard, that they delay taking down a building so much that it allows, like you can see, the other team to react and come back in and pretty much defend their building. This looked very good for MFLD up until the point where we realized they just don't have enough firepower to destroy this building fast enough before DSP react. DSP right now are going to go swarm this rally. This is not a bad play, especially because their building is fairly well situated and there's no open field swarming the building. So swarming the rally is not necessarily a bad idea. And with this what's her face? Tamaris adding massive skill damage taken onto this Attila Takeda rally. Boy, whoo, 42,000. That hurts. That really does. Who's in the counter rally? I don't see a counter rally. Is there a counter rally? I don't see a counter rally. It's all a swarm. There's a rally, a building, and a swarm. While that is going on, the folks of MFLD went on to swarm the Sky Altar. Now, this looks a lot better. This is how this needs to be. It needs to be a strong rally with an insane open field. But based on the commander choices that I see here, the folks of MFLD are missing some of the most important commanders on this field to help out the rally. What you need to understand about swarming a building is that the swarm can take the building out, for sure. But your massive power comes from the rally. You need to make sure that the troops that are showing up to support the rally are ones that will complement the rally and help it achieve what it needs to achieve. MFLD popping a alliance skill to kind of reinforce their situation in here, but with commanders such as Richard, who is primarily more of a healing tank and less of a DPS commander, this right here is just not enough from MFLD, and DSP are doing the same exact thing they did on the other field, on the other side of the field, which is They delayed this long enough so that an open field presence can show up. Look at the timing. At yellow, Commander Bean gets out and about to go one more in. Here's the march that's coming in. And yellow for yellow, the building maintains. The only little bit of a mistake here is that he didn't send this march to hit something in here, so it dies faster. 47-second march instead of 20-something. Oh, MFLD. MFLD, they took the obelisk away from DSP. It's the obelisk where the Ark of Osiris was. And now, the MFLD are not going to hold on to this DSP's obelisk by any means. But they are pushing in for this Ark of Osiris. This, in my opinion, is a little bit of a desperate move. There are so many folks in here. 283 million power. 77 million power, 89 million power, 106 million power, 110 million power. Folks who can quite literally bring their marches out again and again and again and again and just clean you guys up. And the problem is, look at how long this march has to go home now. Let's go see if we can click one of these. Oh my goodness. 3 minutes and 32 seconds. Ronin without a march for 3 minutes and 32 seconds. 2 minutes on this person. 1 minute and 38 on this person. And it's so much time wasted. Remind you, your biggest enemy in the match is that timer right up there. That timer is what decides your fate. And if you don't pay attention, to what you're doing and you don't pay attention to that timer, wasting time can be a hugely detrimental thing. The points per minute game evened up fairly nicely. MFLD took the lead once more. They're starting to bring provisioners in. We noticed that because they all of a sudden shrunk their lead, the lead that the folks of MFLD had like that, which means one of these marches that made it back home by dying seems to have had a little bit of provisions on it, so the points jumped up a little bit. DSP in the lead by 20 points, nothing more than that, but they do hold the Ark of Osiris, and they can at any moment gain 3,500 points worth of a lead. Buildings being rallied, both Desert Altar and Sky Altar being rallied by MFLD. Let's go see if they manage to bring in a little bit more reinforcements out here. This looks so much better by MFLD. Look at the presence on the open field. Cena bringing in a little bit of a silencing commander. I don't see an Ethelfled still, but I'm hoping she's somewhere in the back. That skill got triggered. DSP, for the first time, this Desert Altar seems very, very vulnerable, as this is exactly what we were talking about. The quicker you do the damage, the more you do the damage, the harder it is going to be to bring the reinforcements. Cabo is coming in strong. They want this building. They have to take this building. And there are no more Jades is doing the correct play. He has 3 marches in here waiting to just reinforce the building. But look, with the building going down as fast as it is, he's going to be holding on to this building by himself. As soon as he starts swapping troops, he's going to be holding this building by himself against all of these. One of his marches against all of these. Not the best timing when it comes to that. And it looks like instead of going into the building, he decides to go for the open field. It looks like maybe DSP are giving up on this building. So much open field presence in here to potentially get into the building. A misplay by DSP costs them the Desert Altar and 150 points in the favor of MFLD. DSP are trying to reply back with their own rally, but once again, Sanguine Gal doing everything to take out this rally, even though the building is almost full. Let the rally hit, people. Let the rally hit. It can stay here for another 2 minutes and you don't have to worry about it, and the building is safely secured. While that is going on, the Sky Altar for red team is blinking, but once again, Tanglan by himself in here. And this is a great example. Look at this rally. How long has this building been blinking? It's been blinking since we started talking about the Desert Altar, then we went to the Sky, and then we came here. That took about a minute and a half. These guys have been here for that long, and these guys are going to stay here for a good, probably another minute or two, where Tanglan cannot get another rally out. Now, if folks want to come reinforce this rally, it'll make it even harder on Tanglan to relaunch this rally, as honestly, DSP are holding onto this building like crazy. Now DSP I guess they're deciding they want to hit the rally and get rid of it. I think it's a small mistake. They shouldn't be touching the rally. They should let it keep hitting the building and just reinforce it. Whenever the building goes yellow, replace marches, let them keep hitting it. If you enjoy the sound effects coming out, make sure you drop a like on the stream, as well as subscribe to the channel. Another shameless plug. I know, I'm a shameless person. 410 people in the chat. Thank you all for chilling with us today. I apologize for the lag. I got nothing to do with it, but I apologize nonetheless. The folks of DSP Laguna up here trying to get the Desert Altar, but his rally is taking massive damage. MFLD taking over the open field is a very important move for them to be able to counteract these very, very problematic 3,500 points. But here's the problem. There are 14 minutes remaining in the match and 9 minutes to deliver this arc, which means if DSP wait another 8 minutes, there will be not enough time for another arc. Only 2 arcs will spawn on this match today, which means the folks of MFLD are really, really, really going to need to step it up and somehow gain 3,500 points in 14 minutes. For that to happen, they need at least a 300 point per minute lead, which they will have in about 34 seconds. From there, they have to be able to hold, they have to be able to slow down the progress of DSP. They have to get it done through rallies, through taking buildings. Look, Tanglan is still here. Can you imagine how frustrated this person is that their Attila Takeda is stuck here for as long as it is, and all the marches in there are stuck? How do you counteract that, chat? You want to know? Leave me a comment in the comments right now, and I'll give you guys the #1 tip on how to counteract when someone is delaying your rally. It's actually fairly straightforward, but considering people are not letting the rallies hit, which is also pretty straightforward, maybe nobody thought about this little nifty trick. Another arc skill coming up onto the MFLD. Desert Altar, as massive fights are happening in here. MFLD cannot lose this building. They right now hold the points per minute lead by about 390 points, which is exactly what they need. You don't only cancel the rally. It is very simple, but you don't only cancel the rally. You want to make sure that when you cancel the rally, all the members solo hit the building for their marches to die faster and go home faster. Cancel the rally, solo hit the building, get the heck out. Very simple, very straightforward. But because people are not letting rallies hit, people also don't know what to do when their rallies are being hit, essentially. And so, great thing for you guys to keep an eye on. In our match, what I did is in a few times, I told a few individuals, get away from the rally, let it hit, and man, the leader of our 96RZ, shout out to him or her, fantastic match, great person, just didn't know what to do. The rally was hitting for 5 minutes every single time. So you definitely want to keep an eye on that one as well. This is something that I've been saying for probably a few months now, and we've been seeing it work really, really well. The arc is still being held by the folks of DSP. They gotta be a little bit careful, because if this person by any chance disconnects, drops the ball, something happens, this could be really bad. So I'm assuming they're gonna wait probably another 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then deliver the arc to ensure that nobody can get another arc. Right now, MFLD reacting exactly as they should be. Shrines of Life both taken. 2 altars in their favor now. The Desert Altar they took away from DSP was taken back. They have plenty of presence in here to potentially contest for it once more, but they have right now as many points per minute as they can humanly get, which is fantastic because their 600 point lead is not going to be enough if the arc gets delivered and 3,000 point lead goes in favor of red. Now, with all this being said, the map being all blue is really, really good for MFLD, but they cannot drop the ball. They have to hold on to the buildings they have, and it looks like their Desert Altar is being contested, and it is defended. Great job by MFLD. Now they got to go get this Desert Altar back. The Shrine of Life they took away from DSP seems to be it's probably going to go down. There is a rally by Sancha Soul by the looks of it. Holding on to this building, Coffee and Tea, these folks right here, Lady Dragon, Simil, should be all going into the building. The longer you delay this, the better. Hitting the rally makes no sense. The building's about to go down, so what's the point? Get in the building, make sure it holds for another 5 seconds, 10 seconds. That's 5 or 10 seconds less of points for DSP. This arc is 3,500 points. Once more, we'll put the information on the screen. This is the second arc. As you can see, only one was delivered, so it's a 3,500 point arc. The desert altar is still blinking, which I find weird. Oh, because it's being defended. Okay, cool, cool. All right, that makes sense. Because of the skill. It's the second arc, so it's a 3,500 point arc. The skill makes the building blink. What do you know? 3,500 points, correct. You see on the screen right there, it's the second arc, 3,500 total points. A small tip for you guys before we go on is that don't, just like we talked about finishing off rallies, the same applies to individual marches. Going frowny means going home faster. Don't defeat the marches. If you're going 1v1 and you see you're beating them, get the heck out. Walk away. Walk back. For all you care, if they're in red or in yellow and you are in white, when you walk backwards, they walk after you. And so the worst case scenario is you'll hit them way closer to your city, which means they march faster, or they stay half marched and they're screwed. A couple of tips for you guys. The number one thing, in my opinion, that's going to be very influential this season is the ability of micro-managing your marches and ensuring that you delay, and delay. DSP seem to still hold them to the Arc of Osiris, and once more they lose the obelisk the Arc is right next to. Let's go take a look at what's going on in there. As if they lose this Arc like this, man, what is going on? The obelisk went out in the favor of the folks of MFLD. Even the Arc Carrier is hitting. Is the Arc Carrier hitting the obelisk? Really? No, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. It's a good way to suicide your march, really. Okay. So you're suiciding your march and coming back? Or is this guy can literally pick up the Arc and start moving away and make a lot of problems for DSP. Hoo-wee, hoo-wee. Look at the difference in points. The Arc was delivered, but look at this. Only 1,500 points between the two teams. That is because MFLD have been doing fantastic when it comes to the open field presence, and they've been doing amazing in the buildings game, and they've been provisioning. I'm pretty confident they've been provisioning a little bit. We'll see at the end if they did really or not. Arc was cashed in, and now it's time to see who has the more power. It's a buildings game. It's a provisioning game, and anything can change. With less than 2,000 point difference between these two teams, anything can happen. In my arc, I was the king of provisioning once more. Provisioned 3,300 points myself alone. 3,300 points myself alone. So keep that in mind. Well, technically out of the map, individual points was 3,300. Points of those were 1,128. One person. So that difference right there, two good gatherers can take it out instantly. 1,128 points by myself with one gathering march and optimizing my troop presence. Anytime I'm on the open field standing, I'm gathering. That's how you gain those extra little points. If MFLD are doing this, they can turn the tables when they decide to. Remember, if you die on a caravan in the tile, you get no points. But if you die out of it, you still get the caravans back, kind of like resources. So when you have troops standing on the open field, having them in the caravan and later on dying in a fight will still get you points pretty much for free. So far, the match is evened out in terms of the points per minute game. 20 points per minute still for the folks of MFLD. The lead is growing drastically for the folks of DSP as their provisioners start to come in. Look at how that jumped to a 2,300 point difference. This is strictly provisioners. And now the question is, who can hold on to buildings and who can take someone else's out? If either team manages to take a desert altar or a sky altar away from each other, that could be a very important nail in the coffin. But at this point, for DSP, the top priority is hold, and get those provisioners back. And for MFLD, they really need to hope, well, I hope for them, that they've been provisioning enough, because 2,000 points, 2,100 points is not something they can achieve through points per minute in the last 5 minutes, as they're going to need 400 points per minute worth of a lead, which they just won't have the time to. Remember, 3 minutes to the buildings start ticking points. So there's really only 2.5 minutes remaining, and that means they need all the map right now to win by the points per minute. So this became, ladies and gentlemen, a game of provisioning. If MFLD have their provisions set up correctly, they might still take this. But at this point, I feel like even if the buildings turn, it's going to be a very tough uphill battle. Of course, taking buildings away from the other team is crucial. You'll slow down their growth and hopefully increase yours and close the gap a little bit further. But the gap cannot be fully closed right now through buildings. It has to be closed entirely, not entirely, but primarily through provisioning. What can happen right now is that we have 590 points per minute right here. If this building goes down and MFLD take it, then they take 150 points per minute lead, which means 150 points less that the folks of DSP are making, which is 450 points less for them to make, and potentially another 300 points in the favor of MFLD. But a 2,000-ish point difference, 4 minutes remaining in the match, things are looking rough. MFLD maintaining a DSP recognizing the scenario, recognizing the situation. They have the open field around the Desert Altar, and they will not let that hold. Can the folks in blue get here in time? This building going down means that most likely DSP can take this, but still nothing is closed yet. The points per minute the points difference is going down 1,200 points due to the fact that I'm assuming, and it's probably what's happening, the folks in MFLD are provisioning. The building is getting reinforced. They need more reinforcements. Currently, there's only one march holding that building against all of that. This individual right here is a hero right now with his marches all over the place. Blitz needs to get in here. These two guys need to get in here. There's only one march right now holding on to this damn thing, and they need more than that. They really need to hold on to this building long enough for these guys to get here. If the building goes down, so will the game. Less than 1,000 points difference in these two guys, and that number is going down 702 points. Ladies and gentlemen, 702 points. This individual right here has to suicide their troops quickly because that will not get back into city in time. Sanguine Gal, you got to get rid of this right now or else this march doesn't make it home. What's her march speed? What's her march time? Where is she? Can she get here? Where is she? Okay, maybe she can get here. Don't sleep on your provisioners, dear, or else if they don't go home, you don't get the points. Sanguine Gal, probably what I do to maximize my efficiency is at the last 4 minutes or 5 minutes, I get out of the tile, look at my march time, and then get back in so I know exactly how much I have to continue provisioning. Building went down in the favor of DSP, but look at the points! Whew. All right, breathe. 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining, and MFLD are coming in hard. They want their Desert Altar back. It's really pointless for them right now. They need to focus on making sure the folks in DSP don't get these 150 points. They're right now leading by about 90 points. That's not the biggest of numbers. MFLD can still take this match by provisioning and by ensuring they take their buildings. They're about to take this Desert Altar back. It's completely pointless for them right now as this Desert Altar is out of the game. It doesn't do anything. It's not gaining points for either team, and it will not again. So this is a little bit of a waste. They should be hitting anything that is gaining points right now. This Sky Altar seems fairly well secured, and DSP marched on with a rally towards the Shrine of War. Shrine of War secured. It is over, chat. Now, honestly, I'm not even gonna look at the map. We're gonna look here, and we're just gonna sit here and see the numbers go. Because listen, it's all about provisioners now, and MFLD are showing up with provisioners. MFLD are showing up with provisioners big time. 1,000-point lead for MFLD with 90 points per minute in the favor of DSP. DSP are losing this match towards the very end, but look at their provisioners coming in too. Less than, almost 1,000, but less than 1,000-point difference. The numbers are moving. It's moving too quick. Chat. Does DSP have enough waiting outside? Are they waiting for the last 20 seconds to get their points in? This is going to get tight. We're going to look at this because there's really nothing else to look at. We got to look at the points going up and the time going down. There's the timer. There are the points per minute game. MFLD losing one outpost going back in their favor. So we're back to 90 points per minute. Less than 1,000 points. MFLD What a comeback. Is this going to be a victory? 4, 3, 2, 1. MFLD clutching at the end. Clutching a victory at the end. What a fantastic match. What an amazing match to watch. What a crazy turnaround by MFLD. Unbelievable. And I can tell you right now, we're going to see a lot of provisions. A lot of provisions by both sides. And look at the difference right here. Look at this difference right here. That right there made the match. LaFlame, you are getting timed out, my friend. There is no reason to be saying that in chat. Let's get some GGs in the chat for both teams. GG to first of all, MFLD. And of course, GG to DSP as well. Let's get those GGs up in the chat, guys. Come on. This is all about the competition. This is not about trash talking. We're here to celebrate our Osiris League. And this was an amazing match to cast. I've been saying it and I kept saying, oh, what's that blue? Oh, that's the button. I've been saying it over and over and over all of season 1. The top tier must provision. And you can see right here, provisions are what won this match. What else can be said? Did I choose the best match? How did the other matches go? I didn't even go take a look at any of the other matches, which is a huge bummer. I did want to show you guys a little bit more. I did want to show you guys SNO 1. SNO 1. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. PX and SOD was super close. Let's go take a look at how this ended up. Ay, my friend Chiskel, mate. He's just not convinced. He's not convinced by the provisions. I tried. All season long, I tried. I really did. SNO. Whoo-wee. Did I bet on them? I don't think I bet against Chiskel. I don't think I did that to him. MFLD, what a close match right here. What else we had here happening? BBTH, fairly decent match. SOD, wow. What a close call. Unbelievable. K9T doing work. RX, defeated by HKL. Not very surprised. Not because RX are bad by any means. Chat, before you leave, I see all of you are leaving. Drop a like on the stream before you leave. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Thank you for your support. We'll be back here, 17 UTC to cast once more. Be back because we're going to cast with just as much excitement and energy and hopefully fix the information thingies for the next cast. Thank you for being awesome. I'm not leaving just yet, but you guys are. So don't forget to drop a like before you leave. That is your little way to say thank you for the cast if you feel like saying thank you. Chiskel did lose to provisions. You lost strictly to provisions. Appreciate it, Krishnendu. What a match. Yeah, we picked up a good one, didn't we? It was a fantastic match. How did JWM do? How did JWM do, chat? I don't see them here. Oh. Let me show you guys a couple of things real quick. Oh, wait. Before I show you guys a couple of things, let's make sure we block the chat. And, woo! I lost here. I bet on MFLD. I bet on the boys of 93. I bet on SOD. And I bet on T79. So a little bit of losses along the way, but a few wins too. A few wins too along the way. I'm not going to look at that, but we're going to go look at this. Our JWM2 ARC match was fairly fun. King of provisions, thank you very much. Still holding strong. Yes, Chiskel did lose to provisions from my understanding. Yeah, 1300 on T79. Oh my goodness. Chat, I hope you guys enjoyed the cast. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'll be back at 17 UTC, which is in about 3 hours to cast once more. I'd appreciate all of you who are here today to show up once more. And let's make this the biggest stream I've ever had because you guys broke my record on this stream. So thank you guys very much for all your continuous support. To all of you who subscribed throughout the stream, there were a bunch of you. Thank you, and I apologize I didn't call you out. Thank you for all the likes, for all the comments, for being in here today with me. We'll be back at 17 UTC for more action. So make sure 19 UTC for more action. That's 9 p.m. my time. I'll see you guys sooner rather than later. Well, in a few hours. Oh, thank you very much again and take care. How do I do this? I click that and then I say, peace.